Welcome to downtown Columbia, everybody. I'm sports director Matt Dowell, joined alongside my co-host Claire Foley and a very special guest, Holly Atkins of the Atkins Law Firm. You are the one who's made all of this happen all year long for us, from Paris until the very end. I know for me personally, I have to say thank you so much for all you have done to sponsor this team, our coverage, this team who deserves as much coverage as possible. Why has it been so important for you to support them from day one in Paris, France?
Well, it's important to support the Gamecocks for a number of reasons, but we also support y'all.
Yeah.
We love our partnership with Watch. Y'all support us. We support y'all. It works in both ways. But Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team deserves 100% of our support, and we are so proud to be involved with them.
And it's not just the Gamecocks that you guys help support. You truly invest in the entire community. Why is it important to you to give back to the city of Columbia and just what you see in return here today?
Yes, well, we're all three of us, Dewana, Joe, and I, live here in Columbia. We work here in Columbia, and we want to support the children, the athletes in Columbia. We love the Friday night sports. We love the football. We love all sports. Joe played football when he was in college. We are just great community representatives. We just love everything about South Carolina, Columbia, and local sports.
I know when this team started in Paris, you were saying we didn't really know what to expect from them. You know, they lost so many good players, Aaliyah, Zaya, L.A. Bree. I mean, it was the end of an era. So when you go into a new era, you're just kind of wondering, what are they going to look like? They started with a bang, and they ended with a bang. What was it like for you to watch this team go 38-0 and win the national title?
Being an alumni, it was exciting, and I know that's why there's so many people here. We never thought they'd be 38-0, but aren't we proud that they are? I mean, Dawn Staley talks about how she didn't expect it, but she worked toward it. She knows how to train champions, and we are now the champions for the third time. I was in Dallas when the Gamecocks won in 2017. That was very exciting, but this is just as exciting. I mean, now we have 3 championships, and these young girls, we are so proud of them. Who would have thought that this brand new team would have gone 38-0? It's just so exciting.
As an alumni, what does it mean to you to see what Coach Staley has built here and that South Carolina has become a household name? I mean, we're international now. What does that mean to you to know that it's your school, it's your alma mater?
It's pride. I have a lot of pride. I've always had a lot of pride in being a USC alumni, but this just makes me even more proud. And you know, back in the day, everybody says USC, they think it's University of Southern California. I think this changes that. When people say USC now, it's going to be the University of South Carolina.
Hey, we were here first, right?
Absolutely.
And lastly, I want to ask you about Dawn Staley. She's an icon in the game, and she's an icon in this community. I mean, we're seeing people walking around with shirts saying, the Dawn Staley for president. She's become such a huge figure, not only just in women's basketball, in women's sports, in sports in general. How does she inspire you?
She inspires me because of the type of person that she is. She is a mentor. She supports youth. She supports young people. There was a video of Chloe meeting her when Chloe was little, and then Chloe hugging her when they won the championship. That's just who Dawn Staley is. She doesn't care just about herself. She doesn't have a big ego. She is about doing this for Columbia, South Carolina, and for those young people. And her love of Asia, Aaliyah, you can see it at the championship. You know, what they were hugging. Being a part of Dawn Staley's trajectory in life is just an honor. It really is.
Well, thank you so much for all you've done to support our station, this team. It has just been 5 months of just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just been unbelievable day after day after day. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you've done.
Well, we love being with y'all and supporting y'all, and go Gamecocks.
That's right.
Go get a good seat. I know it's a beautiful day. You want to get a good shot of them and everything.
Well, and Atkins Law's in the parade.
All right, that's right.
We've got some people walking in the parade, so everybody support them out there.
All right.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much. We'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Again, we are getting ready. Claire, grab a chair. Come on over here with me.
Slide on
We're getting
over.
ready for our championship. Of course, the parade is getting underway now as South Carolina gets set to celebrate their 3rd national championship in the last 7 tournaments. It's been unbelievable. And Claire, it has been, I mean, we couldn't ask for better weather today.
Oh, my goodness.
Sunny, it's beautiful. Everybody's having a good time.
Not a cloud in the sky. I know we usually save the meteorology for Taylor Canoose and Clara Faith, but I'll take a crack at it. It's beautiful skies here today. Nice light breeze, about 82 degrees right now. I mean, perfect parade weather.
Unbelievable. Again, just everybody's out here with their families. They're doing the Gamecock chant. They're dancing. They're having a good time as everyone's awaiting the arrival of the team. There's over 100 cars in today's parade. The team, of course, will be at the very end, ending with Coach Staley. You guys can kind of see just how busy it is downtown. They had to block off all the streets. Some cars might have gotten towed.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, y'all, but it's just a big event today. What are you excited to see today?
Oh my goodness, you know, it's just so nice to see all the people coming down here. I mean, you've got families, you've got dogs and wagons, you've got everybody, people coming from all over, and even people who weren't able to come down here this afternoon, they still want to watch. They want to see this team. They want to see this all come to an end. They've seen the perfect season along the way, and this, like you said earlier, just can't think of a better way to cap it all off.
Yeah, when I go back home, you know, to North Carolina, talk to some of my friends and family that aren't from this area, I have to tell them, this team, they are A-list celebrities.
That's right.
They are, everybody wants a picture with them. Everybody wants their autograph. I went to Camila Cardoso's meet and greet at Dick's Sporting Goods in Irmo earlier this week. The line was wrapped around the store, and Camila is going to be here today. She is on the list to be part of today's parade ahead of the WNBA draft tomorrow. So a busy 24 to 48 hours for Camila, but she's going to get a big ovation. The Final Four's most outstanding player. Everybody else on the team is also on the list to be in attendance today. You heard from Mylasia Fulwiley during our pre-show special, but it's just been such a fun team. They're such an exciting team. They're very different from a year ago. Don Staley was saying, coaching the last 4 years with the Aaliyah, Zaya, Bree, LA-led teams, it was really like coaching a pro team. They were just so professional. This team kind of does things their own way. She jokingly called it a daycare, you know, that they just have fun. They don't really feel a lot of pressure, and it was very different for her as a coach.
Well, you know,
and
it's like the turnaround to Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
You have to remember, these are still kids. They're still in college. They're the greatest at what they do. They're professionals when it comes to executing, but they're still going to class. They're still having fun. I mean, there was one afternoon I saw them at the grocery store. They're just, they have to get groceries. They just have to do normal college things, and that's how they kind of carry themselves. They maybe don't take themselves too seriously. They remember it's still a game. And you see that on the court. They're just having fun.
And they're having fun, but when they got to the court, it was all business. Raven Johnson really leading the revenge tour, as she famously called it, all season long. And now the revenge tour is over. She says now it's time for the repeat tour. So they're trying to go back to back, but I think they're going to celebrate first before they start thinking about next season.
That's right. Yeah, I did hear some chants talking about, okay, let's go for four, go for four. But you know, I am so, Raven Johnson, she said after the game on Sunday, she said, you know, I'm proud of myself. And you know, we're proud of her too, to see what she overcame. And she talked about that at the beginning of this season, how much it really affected her the way last season ended. The viral video of Caitlin Clark waving her off, and as the saying goes, I took that personal. Right?
She did take it personal, and she was saying too that for her, it wasn't really the wave, it was the reaction to everything. She thought about quitting basketball. She kind of got depressed. Her teammates, she would not answer their phone calls. She watched that game 100 times over. They had to get her out of it. She said she got closer to God after that. It was just such a great story of redemption and sticking with it. And she said, I asked her after the championship, what do you want to tell someone who's going through the same thing, whatever their goals are, if they're kind of going through the same thing? She said, just stick with it. Get back out there, stick with it, get closer to God, and do your thing. Like, it's okay. You're going to be okay. And I'm hearing cheers. I think that means the parade is getting underway. But Raven Johnson is going to get some big cheers today because even though she was in a down moment, of course she's on top now, these fans, her teammates, the coaches, they stuck with her the whole way.
Absolutely. And you could see that. And it wasn't just her that they were picking up along the way. Anytime someone was dealing with an injury, weren't having their best day, someone else was there to grab their hand, pick them up, and pick up the pace for them.
Yeah, she gave a special shout out to Letitia and me here in Aaliyah, Boston for all they did to help her out of that. But of course, Raven's defense was A+ during that championship. She really put Caitlin Clark on lockdown in those last 3 quarters, and that was a huge part of why they were able to win a week ago. It feels like a long time ago now, but it has only been 1 week. But again, everyone kind of still getting in their places here today. It is absolutely packed for today's championship parade. We're about a block down from the State House, which is where today's parade is going to end. Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks will give speeches. Ray Tanner, the athletic director, is going to be part of this today. Watch Fox, we got a car in the parade today. Everybody wants to be part of this today, as it is so exciting. And again, I think this program is capable of another undefeated season. I'm not putting anything past Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks, but we do have to celebrate something that does not happen all the time. It's been amazing to watch.
That's right. You don't want to take for granted this moment right here. You get this celebration, and we're lucky that it's become a tradition here in Columbia, but you want to realize just how special it is, and just how special it is that really Cardoso's the only one you're losing.
Yeah,
they're going to be good next year.
Yeah, Cardoso expected to be a top 5 draft pick. Tahina Paupau's coming back. We've even talked about her. She's been a huge part of this Gamecock team, an instant threat from the three-point line, which they needed right away. And she was huge in the championship as well, hitting 3 threes in that first half, keeping the Gamecocks in it. I mean, we can go down the list of every player and talk about the contributions that they've had. Again, the cheering has started, everybody. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. It is a beautiful day here in downtown Columbia for today's Gamecock Women's Basketball Championship Parade. I think people are getting a little antsy. They're like, all right, where are the players? Where are the people? We want to see them. But don't worry, it is coming in just a little bit. Again, over 100 cars are in today's parade, as everybody wants to be part of this. Everybody wants to be associated with this program because they are the definition of excellence.
That's right. And Dow, like I said, these people have been out here for hours at this point. They're like, okay, we're 10 minutes past 2. Let's TikTok, let's get going. We've been here since 10:30, 11 o'clock. They're ready. They're hunkered down. I mean, we're probably 20, 25 people deep in some spots of this parade lining. And it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful day under this tent, but they're out in the sun. It's warm out there in the sun, but they wanted to be here, to be out and see these players close up in action, and not just for themselves to enjoy the moment, but I truly believe they are here to thank these players.
They bring so much joy to so many people. Everyone just loves to sit down, watch them, cheer them on. They get stressed probably, you know, with 1.1 seconds left on the clock in that SEC tournament semifinal. I think a lot of people maybe sweating a little bit, saying, okay, it might be one loss, but Cardoso said, absolutely not. I'm going to drain this three-pointer. And then it went on to an undefeated season. There is just so many parts, so much depth, so many aspects of the season that you could talk about. I mean, we could be out here until 11 o'clock tonight if we wanted to. But again, as you guys are seeing, the streets are absolutely packed to watch this South Carolina team celebrate their 3rd national championship in program history. It has gotten a lot warmer. It was a beautiful morning. It's gotten a little bit warmer, as you would expect for this time of day. About mid-80s right now, so you definitely need your sunscreen. You need the water. You need to stay hydrated because you ain't moving, y'all. It's packed. It's a fun time out here as the parade gets set to get underway. Again, if you're just joining us, over 100 cars in today's parade, of course, ending with the South Carolina women's basketball team. We hear a lot of cheering coming our way, so hopefully things are starting to get underway here in a second, as so many communities, so many businesses, so many parts of our community here in Columbia want to be part of this parade. There's been a lot of dancing going on, a lot of cheering. It's been fun. There we go. We are getting underway today in downtown Columbia for today's championship parade. They had to tease us a little bit. Everyone's like, we don't want the season to be over just yet. You're going to wait just a little longer. But so much excitement. You can see as we get underway. It is just absolutely jam-packed today with people. So much fun. And it's just, I mean, it's unbelievable, Claire. It's so much fun. The excitement, the energy, everybody's ready to go. You can hear the cheering. Right. They're like, let's go, let's do this.
Well, you talk about just wanting to be associated with something like this. I mean, all the businesses that you see, like these parades, they're a quick turnaround.
Yes.
And it's all hands on deck to make it happen really quick. And 100 businesses, representatives, people from our area said, yep, parade, Sunday, 2 o'clock, I'm there. I want to be there to be represented with this Gamecock team and to thank them and to celebrate with our city that this is something that this team accomplished to bring back home and share like this with our city.
Yeah, well, the Gamecock Championship Parade is getting underway. We're going to let you guys just listen in for a little bit so you can take in the sights and the sounds as today's celebration gets underway.
There are a lot of lawyers advertising to help injured workers in the Midlands. At Atkins Law, the lawyer you see on TV is the lawyer that greets you at the door. We live and work right here in South Carolina. So if you've been hurt on the job, call us, because who you hire matters.
At Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration, we understand the importance of comfort and safety for your family. That's why we want to keep you warm in the cold months
and famously cool in the hot and humid South Carolina summers.
We take a whole home approach to help determine what type of services best fit your needs and provide various maintenance plan options for HVAC and plumbing to keep things running smoothly. Not only do we service your home, we can also service your business with a customizable plan. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment today.
From Columbia, South Carolina, all the way to Paris, France, WatchFox is dedicated to telling the stories of women and HBCU athletes. WatchFox Sports, more sports than anyone else in the Midlands.
I'm Claire Foley. Join me every weekend at 10 p.m. for the same local first coverage you get throughout the week. We bring you stories that matter and keep you up to date on the information you need on WatchFox News at 10, Local First.
At Atkins Law, we help injured workers, and we're grateful both for the relationships and the reputation that we've built over the years. If you've been hurt on the job, call us. Remember, who you hire matters.
Welcome back to downtown Columbia, everybody. The Gamecocks Championship Parade is underway, and we're going to throw it down the street to our man of pool and friendy Claire Reveau. Guys, what's going on?
Well, you know, we're enjoying our walk right now as things just started getting moving here. We've got our sponsors, Atkins and Exeter. We've got the cool little truck behind us. Friendy, we were talking earlier before this and that, you know, we both hadn't experienced a parade yet. Right. What do you think so far and what are you excited for?
I'm really excited about everybody in the community getting together and rallying behind the women's basketball team and just seeing everybody in different places, all these different companies, and the one thing for me, Richland won. They have a float here, and just seeing that float and just how everybody's coming together, I'm really expecting a good turnout.
Yeah, we just started moving here. We're starting to walk. We're towards the end of the parade a little bit, so it'll take us a while to meet up with Matt Vereen at the State House. I'll send it back to you, Matt.
Matt, stand by, cue.
Thank you, guys. The excitement underway. You can see so many cars, so many floats, so much excitement. The Gamecock chants are underway. It's getting real loud. The phones are out. Everybody wants a picture of this team, of every single person in this. It's so exciting today.
And they're riding in style for sure. I mean, check out that Go Gamecocks car right there. And we've got some special rides for our special guests coming up later today as well.
For sure. I mean, check out, look at this, y'all. Everybody's bringing out all of the A-plus vehicles.
Only the best.
Only the best for this Gamecock program. Again, so much excitement. And we're just going to let you guys listen into all of the festivities underway.
Sandstorm.
So much fun here in downtown Columbia for today's Gamecock Championship Parade. Again, there are over 100 cars in today's parade. So many people, thousands, have come out for today's celebration. And they're coming in style. All of the garnet and black balloons, decorations decked out on these cars that I certainly can't afford, Claire. They are amazing, amazing cars. Only the best for today. But again, this just shows how everybody wants to be part of today's celebration.
That's right. I mean, you see little kids on shoulders. Right behind us, we got some little kids on trash cans standing up so they can see over the crowd. I mean, it's starting to get loud behind us as they're coming past, heading towards the State House, and it's just so cool to see the attention that this team garners and the excitement. And like you said, these players are like A-list celebrities around here.
Yeah.
If they can get the chance to wave to their favorite player, they're going to come down here, they're going to battle the heat, and they're going to celebrate this team.
So much fun. So some of the first cars that we're going to be seeing today, Jack Haynes, Metro City Slingshots. We got Miss South Carolina and local queens and the Girl Scouts of South Carolina. Those are the first 4 cars up today, and those are 4 of over 100 cars in today's parade. It is It's just so exciting, everybody. I mean, they brought every car out. I mean, it's look at the and we got the dogs out. I mean, they're having a good time representing Champ Staley, the honorary, national champion for South Carolina.
That's right. We talked about the t-shirts before. I just saw one on the back that says Dynasty.
Yep.
That kind of shows exactly how this community feels about their head coach and this team.
Sandstorm is playing, everybody. The energy is out here today. It is a party here in downtown Columbia for today's championship parade, and you can't have a Gamecock championship parade without Sandstorm.
That's right.
It's ingrained into this Gamecock fan base.
Hey, we got our pom-poms on the table here. We might start doing it a little bit.
But for South Carolina, of course, this season started in Paris, France, ending in Cleveland, Ohio just a week ago today. Again, it's been a very fast turnaround, but it's been no issue for everyone here. As, a week, they said we're going to do it for this South Carolina program that has won 3 national championships in the last 7 tournaments, probably a 4th if that 2020 tournament had happened.
That's right.
Of course, that tournament canceled right before it was set to go. South Carolina was going to be the #1 seed in that event, but since then, they have been the #1 seed the past 3 years, winning 2 of those tournaments. They've lost 3 games in the last 3 seasons. This year, not any player.
Right, and you just think about it that it's almost a given. You just expect this team to win, but the message we cannot overstate here is that you have to remember how special it is. Don't take it for granted that this team is just gonna win. It doesn't matter who it is. Like you said, it doesn't matter if there's 1.1 seconds on the clock. This team, they're probably gonna pull through. They're gonna make something happen. They're gonna make it look easy. They're gonna make it look like a Tom Brady 2-minute drill. It just happens. Doesn't matter how much time is on the clock, what the score is. They're gonna pull it out and make it happen. But you have to remember how special it is and recognize and celebrate the team that did so this year.
Yeah. What I love, too, about today's parade is you have so many people from all parts of the Columbia community part of this. Whether they're in a car, whether they're walking, whether they just want to be on the sidelines, we just have every single part of the Columbia community here, and it's really a beautiful thing to witness. Everybody coming together, smiling, waving, having fun, eating some good food. It's just such a great sight to see. You can see all of the Go Gamecocks signs. And I should mention, too, you notice a lot of people wearing Gamecock Jesus pins and banners in honor of the beloved fan who passed away during the season, who would have loved every part of this. And I just think that's how dedicated this fan base is. They want to remember all parts of the season, and Gamecock Jesus was such a huge part of it, and he would love everything that we're seeing today.
That's right. Talked to some fans earlier who were wearing some yellow ribbons for him, and they said, he would always sit right across from the team's bench, and they said if he were here today, he'd be up at that State House stomping along to the music. He would be the center of attention besides the team. You have the team, of course, but everybody has to look over at Gamecock Jesus to see how much he loved this team, and he did a lot for this community as well. And I think that speaks to how the community comes together around this team and just does good for each other. Everyone in this community seems to have their back, and you see it in the hundreds of cars that are in this lineup today. I mean, you saw the Girl Scouts on your screen before. You have local businesses, you have some national names, some national restaurants and brands like Coca-Cola, Bojangles, stuff like that, but you also have the homegrown as well, and local businesses, local representatives, community groups. I mean, it doesn't get better than this.
Just so much fun. I just also love, we're getting like every kind of vehicle that we can possibly see today. It's just unbelievable to watch.
You might see a Segway, a unicycle.
Look, everybody's out. Look at the excitement. You can see it on everybody's face. It's just so fun to watch. It's a party out here, Claire. I love it so much. Again, we've seen every type of Gamecock shirt that you could want. Every type of, banner, pom-pom, hat, it's out here today. Again, if you're just joining us, we've seen all kinds of shirts, from 38-0 to shirts about Dawn Staley to shirts about the Revenge Tour. I mean, everything that has happened since Sunday is on a shirt here today. It's really unbelievable.
If Dawn Staley said it, it's on a shirt. You see the uncommon favor, the Dawn Staley, 38-0, pictures of the seniors. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen a champ shirt yet.
Oh, I know. Look, as an owner of a Havanese as well, shout out to my Havanese who is watching but doesn't know what's going on. She is a big lover of Champ Staley, you know, representing the dog community.
That's
as
right.
Part of the Gamecock fans, which are really out here today. But it's really fun to see how much even Champ is popular. I mean, Champ is a celebrity.
That's
right.
right.
You know, he's got handlers, he's got security, he's got all that kinds of stuff. But that's just how beloved this team is, that every single person is appreciated and every single person is beloved.
That's right. I remember from, you say the last championship win when they came home. Obviously, Champ doesn't travel with the team, and it went viral. The reunion of Dawn Staley and Champ as they're coming back from the airport, they're touching down, and you see Champ just running across the tarmac to go back to Dawn Staley, and people went nuts for it because they love Champ, they love Dawn. Anything associated with Dawn Staley, this team, people are going to love it, and they're going to put it on a t-shirt.
Oh, they're going to put it on a t-shirt. One of the groups you guys just saw was the Girl Scouts of South Carolina. So shout out to them and just everything all these groups that are here from Columbia. Again, over 100 cars today that we're all really excited to see, with South Carolina to be, of course, the end of today's parade. Most of the players in pairs of twos, some one, but most of them will be in kind of individualized cars. So they're going to make it last for the fans today. And Camila Cardoso is on our list today, so we are expecting to see her today. Look at all of the fans here today.
They're ready.
Oh, they're all ready. They're like, where's Dawn? Where is everybody? We're ready to see all of them. But that is just the passion that you see on a daily basis. Yeah, high five it up, everybody. It's just such a great atmosphere here today. So much fun. Some of the other cars that we're seeing here today: Building Better Communities, Ultimate Choice Carter, Oak Street Health. I mean, every kind of business, every profession, every industry is part of today's parade, and all these fans. I mean, I saw people online saying, I'm going to fly in for the parade. I think we got some people here who aren't even necessarily from Columbia. They just want to see the team and celebrate them before the season officially comes to an end.
And I think that's a testament to this team, what it does for this city, and even just the city in general, the personality of it, that it's one for all and all for one. Like, your success is my success. I'm going to celebrate you. And just as this team has done with each other, they've lifted each other up, and that's how we got here.
So much excitement, and we've got full team coverage today all along downtown Columbia. I'm going to send it over to our Amanda Poole, who's got more excitement.
All right, guys, I'm in the thick of it over here. We've got Gamecock players surrounding us. Right behind us here, we have assistant coach Khadijah Sessions. Khadijah, how you feeling up there?
Oh, man, I feel amazing. It feels a little bit different than being on the Amamata float than being in this car by yourself as an assistant coach. You know I'm a little crazy. I'm trying not to run off today.
What does this moment mean to you to be able to come back to this city and do this?
It's amazing. I mean, to give back finally to our fans that always giving to us, coming to our games, to be able to party with them in a different way, not in our uniforms, not in our coaching mindset, but just really out here enjoying each other. It's amazing feeling.
Awesome. Thank you, Khadijah. Enjoy your ride. We've got tons of women basketball players behind us sitting on top of these Corvettes here. We're going to keep on moving. We've got Bree Hall over here on top of this blue Corvette alongside. Who's next to you? Sanaya Fagan. How are you ladies doing today?
Hey, we're good. We're doing great. We're doing great. It's very hot.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
Yeah. What's it mean for you to be here at this parade for a second time?
It means the world. I'm just so proud of this team. We came a long way this season, and I'm just very happy.
Sanaya, how you feeling?
I feel good to be out here again. Experience this another time. I mean, actually being a part of it, helping the team get here, and just doing what we have to do to get back where we was.
What was perfect about this season besides the record?
Our love for each other.
Yeah, our love. That was a great answer.
I'm going to get emotional now, ladies. Enjoy your ride. We've got so many players here. We've got women's basketball alumni to my left over here. 2 floats full of women's basketball alums that have helped pave the way for a team like this. There's Tessa Johnson walking in front of us. We've got Chloe Kitts sitting atop the red Corvette. Camila Cardoso over there with like green Corvette. That one looks beautiful. I could spend all day here, but I'm going to send it back to you guys because we've got more parade going on.
Thank you, Amanda. So many excited fans today. Again, there are kids, babies, dogs, all the way up to the grandparents, the parents. Everybody just wants to celebrate on what is an absolutely beautiful day here in downtown Columbia. We could not ask for better weather.
That's right. And you know, Dowell, you started to say this before. One person I think we're both so glad is here for this parade is Camila Cardoso.
Yeah, we're going to see her at the very end. I believe she's one of the very last cars, as she should, because you know, she's got to celebrate and then get on a plane and go to Brooklyn to be part of tomorrow night's WNBA draft, where she's expected to be a top 5 pick. But she had to be part of this championship celebration, which is amazing because it doesn't always work out the way. You know, the schedule is hard when you are kind of going from the Final Four weekend to a quick turnaround with the WNBA draft. So it's great that Camila can be part of today's celebration because she said that she has just fallen in love with this year's team. Of course, she's one of the elder stateswomen of the team now. Her time here went by so fast. I can remember when her transfer was announced from Syracuse. It feels like just yesterday, and she's made an immediate impact on this program. And man, did she play well in the Final Four and in the national championship game. But she said she fell in love with this team this year, and that going to South Carolina is one of the best things that has ever happened to her. She said, you know, her family's in Brazil. That's got to be hard. And Dawn Staley has really been a mother figure for her, taking her in and really just taking care of her during what has been an unbelievable time, but also a hard time to be apart from your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And we heard that in Matt Vereen's coverage in our special pre-show earlier. If you missed it, you could hear that Cardoso was getting emotional talking about what Coach Staley means to her, and she's so grateful for one opportunity she gave her here as a player, but that she truly has been here for her, been there for her while her family is so far away. And that goes to show what Dawn Staley tells all of her players, former, if they played here all 4 years or not, if they came through a program of hers, they are family, and they are family for life. And you've seen that time and time again, and it really shows when you hear the emotion of the players talk about what Coach Staley means to them. I mean, we heard earlier from Holly Atkins talking about Chloe Kitts' relationship with her, and as soon as they won on Sunday, she runs right up to Coach Staley, gives her a big hug. And I think it shows the trust they have, the relationship that's at the root of this team. And when you have a team that is truly playing for each other and wants it as badly for the person next to them as they want it for themselves, I mean, special things can happen, and that's exactly what happened this year.
You can see some of the cars that we're seeing here today. Everybody, again, wanting to be part of this. You saw Pelican's Ice, which is good for today because it's
need some of that.
Here. Yeah, we need some of that. We have Beauty Queens. We got Miss South Carolina, Girl Scouts. Again, we got Miss Richland County. So it's just so many exciting things, and y'all just get settled in because this is gonna last a while, because everybody wants to be part of this. Again, so many cars, so many businesses. We've got bands, we've got cheerleaders, we've got, you know, everybody's got their towels and their shirts and their signs just representing that Gamecock Nation pride. Forever to thee. You know, it's just so much fun. And again, we can't take it for granted what this South Carolina women's basketball team did this season. And they're such a good example for the younger kids. I mean, so many young kids have gotten into college basketball and basketball because of this team in this community. And obviously they've had a huge impact on the little girls and how many these little girls can see what they can become. But I have to also say, I have seen so many young boys who have really become fans of this team and are celebrating this team. You see young boys, young girls, they are just packing these arenas to watch South Carolina, and I think it's a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely, that's what I was gonna say. You have to remember that we've long supported and shown up for men's sports, and to see so many people here today for a women's basketball program, I mean, for people who know sports, love sports, and especially women growing up, young girls, when you're in it, you don't necessarily get that attention at a young age. I mean, going back to high school, you always see the boys' games are more crowded than the girls' games. But to see this here today is it's really something.
Yeah. They have led the nation in attendance for 10 straight years now. And you know, the Asia Wilson era was so popular. The Aaliyah Boston Freshies era was so popular. But this year somehow topped it all. It was the most attendance in the 21st century for a women's college basketball team. Over 16,000 people per game showed out to the CLA. I believe it was 5 sold-out games by the end of the regular season, which is a program record. I mean, not only is this just a new era, but for people to so quickly fall in love with this team that is full of superstars from top to bottom, that was amazing. Because even, you know, the Thursday night games, packed. Sunday night games where they're the huge favorites to win, packed. And then of course packed for UConn, Tennessee, these big names that they welcome every year. It was just unbelievable from November all the way until March to see how this fan base supported them and will continue to do for many years.
Full of talent and full of personality. And I think that goes a long way because it's an added element. Like, yeah, you remember the big plays on the court. You remember Ashlyn Watkins with the slam dunk. Yeah. But when you can also connect a memory to them off the court, something they're doing, tea time with Tessa, or things like that, they become real. They become like your friends. And for the people out here today, it's like they're just showing up for their friends who did something great. And, you know, it's really special when you have a team that is likable, and they're all likable, and you feel like you're their friends, and you feel like you know them.
I think everyone feels the same way you do. And again, they have so much fun on social media. They've grown up in this era. I was joking with Tessa Johnson. I'm like, we might have to hire you at Watch Fox because your questions are really good.
Good interview.
And just having a good time. And those are the kinds of things that make you fall in love with these players from the beginning. You know, obviously we grew up, Malaysia Fulbright, Ashlyn Watkins, they've grown up in this community. We've seen them for a long time. But for, you know, some of the new freshmen like Tessa Johnson that came in, maybe, you know, she's from Minnesota. A lot of these local fans maybe don't know as much about her at the beginning. And within, a week or two, they're diehard fans of Tessa Johnson. They love her, and she is quickly part of this. And that's the same for every single player on this roster. You can see Colonial Life making their way down the street as we're kind of getting into the second part. We're about 20 cars or so into this parade out of over 100 that are here today. So many Spurs up. I like these cars that have kind of themed their cars, even though they're the businesses, they themed the cars for today. I saw 38 No on there. Everybody just welcoming. There you go. There's a shirt again. Y'all, if you want some merch, you're gonna have to hit up a lot of these people because they have it all down to a science.
You're gonna have to ask where they're getting. I heard people behind us asking each other where they got their shirts, and they just want to be a part of it. They want to represent this brand, even on their own time, not just here today. They want to rep it. They want to spend their money even more now that the season's over. They're like, okay, I'll pay for a t-shirt now. I'm proud of this team.
Yeah, everyone is so proud of what South Carolina accomplished. And the championship parade, y'all, we're just getting started here in downtown Columbia, and our coverage continues right after this.
At Atkins Law, we help injured workers and their families. People always ask, what sets us apart? We're local, and we focus on customer service. If you've been hurt on the job, call us, because who you hire matters.
Watch Fox Sports brought you continuous coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament from start to finish. Congratulations to Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
I'm Claire Foley. Join me every weekend at 10 p.m. for the same local first coverage you get throughout the week. We bring you stories that matter and keep you up to date on the information you need on Watch Fox News at 10, Local First.
At Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration, we understand the importance of keeping you famously cool during the heat and humidity of South Carolina summers. We're offering an HVAC precision tune-up for only $129. Give us a call or book online to schedule today.
There are a lot of lawyers advertising to help injured workers in the Midlands. At Atkins Law, the lawyer you see on TV is the lawyer that greets you at the door. We live and work right here in South Carolina. So if you've been hurt on the job, call us, because who you hire matters.
Welcome back to downtown Columbia, everybody. Matt Dowell and Claire Foley here with some die-hard Gamecock fans. Terrence and Nicole, how are you guys?
Wonderful! Very excited about this right here.
Yes! Terrence, we'll start with you. What do you guys love about this Gamecock team?
I just like the togetherness and what they give back to the community and the hope that they give the younger ones and everything like that. So I'm just excited just to be able to be around to see this happen for South Carolina, not only for the university, but yeah.
You guys live right here in Columbia?
We do. Born and raised.
Born and raised. What does it mean to you to see the growth of what this program has brought to the city? I mean, to see all these thousands of people come out in support of South Carolina. What does that mean?
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing, again, to just see the community, right? I mean, we have all sorts of university fans, not just Gamecock fans here, right? We have people who are here celebrating the togetherness that Coach Staley lives. She models it by talking to other teams, that talking to the opponent's teams and encouraging all people, not just Gamecock fans, right? I love that about her.
For this team, you know, it was such the end of an era for South Carolina with Aaliyah, Zaya, the freshies leaving. Did you guys expect this team to do what they did, and what was it like to watch this season?
Wow, honestly, I didn't, but I knew with Coach Stanley they was going to be competitors, you know. So I know we were going to compete, but I didn't know at this level. So just to see them do what they did, it's awesome. But that's just to the whole coaching staff and all the young ladies that actually came together as one to make this happen. So yeah, surprise, but love it, love it.
Thank you guys. You guys go have fun. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the parade.
Thank you. Stay cool. It's warm out there.
You see Bojangles is here in the house. We got all kinds of people here today. We want to thank all the Gamecock fans that are out here today, especially the ones, well, all of them, but the ones that are talking to us today, of course. It's just such an exciting atmosphere out here today for everyone. Claire, that's the kind of dedication from the fans that have grown up here and watched this program from the start, for the ones that maybe joined 10 years ago or so. It's just so much pride for today.
That's right. We heard the same thing from Holly Atkins earlier, just being an alum, how much pride she has to now go out and say that South Carolina is her alma mater. And for these people who have grown up here to say that they're from Columbia, that it's representative of their hometown, where they're from, and to see that kind of personality and character on display at a national level it's reflective of the people here. And like they said, to have the example that Dawn Staley sets all over, whether it's in game, on the court, to how she just a class act she is, and how she talks about the other players, the other teams, the other coaches, and how she talks about her players too. She uplifts them, but she holds them accountable, and she holds herself accountable.
We got the radio guys in the house in today's parade. Everybody having a good time. Also, during that interview with the fans, we were seeing, you know, some T-shirt cannons.
I was gonna say.
That's what the big cheers were about. So it's just a good time all over for everyone today. And you know, everyone loves a good free T-shirt, so you got to get that at a parade. It's just so much fun. Oh man, we got the mascots in the house.
Eagles.
So much fun here today. The dedication from everyone to be part of today's celebration. It's just so much fun to see.
Got to be a little warm.
A little warm,
suits.
Yeah. Shout out to them, because I know that they're hot.
Maybe they got a little AC in there. Hopefully they're staying hydrated.
Stay hydrated again. It's such a beautiful day here in downtown Columbia. And we got full team coverage from everyone today. Again, we got Matt Marine down at the State House for the end of today's parade. Our Amanda Poole is going all over the place. Of course, I got Claire here. Our friend Claire Vaux is part of today's coverage. And shout out to Atkins Law Firm, our sponsor from Paris all the way until the very end. And they're sponsoring our shows here today. Dawn Staley is in the house. She will be one of the last cars to go today. The team is getting ready to go. It's just so much fun here today. Again, the South Carolina women's basketball team getting ready for today's speeches at the very end, but they got to say hi to all the fans first.
That's right, and we're seeing Atkins Law again. We cannot say thank you enough for not just what they've done. I mean, Dowell, you got to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Thanks to them. But not only that, you want to talk about, because you were able to go, we were able to cover this team and tell their stories and show this community how special of a team that they are. And that is not possible without Atkins Law.
Dawn Staley, of course, completing an undefeated season, winning the Naismith Coach of the Year for the third consecutive time, the fourth time in the last 5 years. She's the first coach ever to three-peat. And you think about all the great coaches, Pat Summit, Gino, everybody that has come before her, to be the first one to win it 3 times is an unbelievable feat. And she did it twice as a player as well. So I don't know where all the Naismith trophies go, but she's got 6 of them total.
Oh my goodness, quite the collection. And you add national titles to it. It's just, again, so special what she has brought here. And you talk about the Dawn Staley effect.
Yeah, we're looking at Dawn Staley right now, who's having so much fun. And we've joked, we do not think Dawn has the same 24 hours as everyone else, because if you haven't been following, after Cleveland, she went to Paris with Asia Wilson to partake in a Nike event, and then came back, was with the football team at their practice yesterday. She's here at the parade today. She's going to Brooklyn, I'm assuming, tomorrow with Cardoso to be part of the draft. I don't know how she does it.
She makes us all look lazy, to say the least. She gets more done in a day, and you know what? She does it with a smile on her face. I mean, you've talked about this before, how gracious she is with the media, always making time. I mean, I don't think anybody has a bad Dawn Staley story.
It's amazing. One time I asked Dawn at an availability, how do you sleep? When do you sleep? How you doing? She said she doesn't really like to sleep that much. She's got to be knocked out, but she really doesn't need that much to continue her day. So I guess if you need kind of an answer to that question, there you go. But
well,
Dawn
it's
Staley,
working for her.
Oh, she's always down to have a good time. She wants to be part of so many things, and she's such a huge figure in the world of sports. So it's again, to go from Cleveland to Paris, back here up to Brooklyn, again, shout out to you, Dawn Staley, and just such an amazing leader for this South Carolina team.
And it's a moment she's not unfamiliar with, but you saw on Sunday something about this team making it all the way that they did, staying perfect, winning the national championship. It made her emotional. For you, Dowell, did you, were you surprised by that? That she was emotional?
I was a little bit, but I think last year, there was a lot of pain after that Final Four loss. It was the senior year for so many of those longtime beloved Gamecocks. They were going for an undefeated season, their second national championship, and it didn't end the way they wanted to. It ended at the hands of Iowa, and then to come back a year later with a basically new roster, to go 38-0, to beat Iowa in the championship, I think it was very poetic for this South Carolina team.
And I think it was maybe even more so poetic to see her crying and emotional and all this, and to just see the team dancing away behind her. That's their personality. That's her personality. She's so grateful for the moment, and they're just soaking it all in, dancing, having a good time. And I think it'll be similar today. I think everybody's going to be dancing today.
Yeah, Cardoso is in the house holding up the national championship trophy. So she's here ahead of the WNBA draft. And we're joined now, too, by a fan here at the championship parade.
Hello, come on in.
How are you? What's your name?
Linda Walsher.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's such a great day for the celebration.
Yes.
What's it been like for you to watch this team this year?
Wonderful. I came down from Michigan 2.5 years ago, but I'm originally from North Dakota.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
I think I can say I'm probably the farthest north visitor today.
Yeah. This team, so amazing. They're such a great example for female athletes everywhere. What's it been like for you to watch them go undefeated and bring home a championship?
It's been fabulous, just fabulous. That's all I can say. We watched every game on TV, and well, I shouldn't say this.
Okay.
But I did say to the neighbor next to me, I said, if Caitlin has an off night, we win.
Well, I think she had an off night because the Gamecocks played pretty well on defense. Raven Johnson shut her down in the second, third, and fourth quarter.
What do you love most about this team?
This team, the way they play, they share, and the way they are just such a well-rounded team, and they have a good bench.
Yeah.
They're fabulous. They do it all. That's why they're winners.
Who are you excited to see today?
Oh, of course I want to see Dawn.
Yeah.
But I don't even know where she is or if I'll last.
Well, they are last, and they have started, so they're all the way at the end. They're making their way down now, so I think that you got a chance.
I should be able to make it. I'm 86,
you'll make it.
So I'm going to try.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You have a good time.
I'm having a good time.
All right,
Good.
thank you so
Continue.
much.
Thank you, Linda. Go Gamecocks.
Again, our coverage of the championship parade. There are so many fans here in downtown Columbia enjoying it, and they're all. We got to say too. Not only are they passionate, they know their basketball.
That's right. That's right. You can't fool anybody around here. If you don't know your stuff, this team, this city, they know what they're talking about. So, just as Don Staley will hold their players accountable, the fans will hold each other accountable. Make sure they know their stuff. They're talking about their team. They're watching these games.
They are watching these games. They know all the stat lines. They know all of the names. They know all the opponents' names. They know their stat lines.
That's right.
So they are so passionate.
They're watching film too.
They do. They're watching film. Oh, they watch film. They watch the films over and over and over. They scout just like the team's coaches do. But again, South Carolina, they've begun their trip downtown Columbia, and we are seeing with them today, and we are going to have more coverage from today's parade right after this.
At Atkins Law, we help injured workers, and we're grateful both for the relationships and the reputation that we've built over the years. If you've been hurt on the job, call us. Remember, who you hire matters.
At Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration, we understand the importance of comfort and safety for your family. That's why we want to keep you warm in the cold months
and famously cool in the hot and humid South Carolina summers.
We take a whole home approach to help determine what type of services best fit your needs and provide various maintenance plan options for HVAC and plumbing to keep things running smoothly. Not only do we service your home, we can also service your business with a customizable plan. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment today.
I'm Claire Foley. Join me every weekend at 10 p.m. for the same local first coverage you get throughout the week. We bring you stories that matter on Watch Fox News at 10, Local First.
Watch Fox Sports brought you continuous coverage of the NCAA women's basketball tournament from start to finish. Congratulations to Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
At Atkins Law, we help injured workers and their families. People always ask, what sets us apart? We're local and we focus on customer service. If you've been hurt on the job, call us because who you hire matters.
Welcome back to downtown Columbia, everybody. You can see all of the excitement from South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball fans who are here to see their favorite players, the stars, the coaches who have brought home a third national championship. And the Gamecocks, look, they're underway. They are in the cars. They got the trophies. They got all the gear. And fans, everyone's phones are out. They're all ready to see this team. They're waiting to get that picture because this doesn't happen all the time, and it's such a fun atmosphere today.
Well, I was going to say, we saw some of our younger Gamecock fans there, and think about it from their perspective. This is just another year for them. They're used to it at this point. It's so amazing to see the next generation being raised around such excellence, and we talked about the example that this team sets for the community, for younger athletes, local sports. Doesn't matter what the sport is. Of course, you see that basketball, youth basketball, is impacted by the success of this team, but the values and the sportsmanship that you see from this team obviously translate to other sports as well.
It's unbelievable. If you're just joining us, South Carolina women's basketball is here. They are in the parade. Of course, they're at the end, but they have begun on their journey. They're in a lot of cars. They got the trophy and everything. Camila Cardoso is here to be part of today's festivities, which I think is amazing. I think she could have gone to New York and gone to the WNBA draft to get ready, but she said she wanted to be part of this, and she's here for what is the end of her South Carolina career. And we got to say too, the Cardoso class with Bree Hall, Sanaya Fagan, the first women's basketball players here at South Carolina to be two-time national champions. So it's awesome to see what they have done for this program. Of course, we got so much going on here today, and our Amanda Poole is kind of roaming around the whole grounds. So we're going to send it over to her, who's got more excitement from today's parade.
The Corvette holding Ashlyn Watkins, the Cardinal Newman product, the hometown hero, as they might say. Ashlyn, how exciting is today for you?
It's really exciting to have my family and friends. My voice is good. I'm excited to have my family and friends to support me here.
I don't want to make you talk too much considering your voice is gone, but what's it mean you have Keenan High School here as well because of Mylasia, and then you have Cardinal Newman here as well? What's it mean for you, and what message do you hope you're sending those young girls that look up to you?
That you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Me and we play for our hometown, and it brought us success. It brought us a lot of just happiness from our family and friends.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Ashley. You're making my throat hurt listening to you. Enjoy the ride. As you can see, there's already been a lot of celebrating already happening as Ashlyn Watkins' voice is completely gone. I'm sure mine will be too by the end of today, like you all as well. But yes, we're here with all the women's basketball players on their Corvettes. As they're about to take off, it looks like women's basketball alum ahead of me has begun to move. We got Cocky over here in the camo truck. We've got the cheerleaders, the dancers, and then we've got right here, Chloe Kitts and Tessa Johnson. Young ballers who have been able to make things happen in the postseason, especially Tessa Johnson in that national championship game. The young one from Minnesota doing her thing. Everybody rocking the shades today. Super sunny, super hot, but super fun. And I think we're gonna get rolling here, so I'll give it back to you guys.
We're back here in downtown Columbia. Thank you, Amanda. Where so much excitement is here for the Gamecock Women's Basketball Championship Parade. And we have followed this team from Paris all the way to today here in Columbia, where, you know, there were no tears shed, no sad tears shed this season from anybody because the Gamecocks never lost a game, 38-0. So it was happiness from that day in Paris all the way until today, which is so great to see. And some of the floats that we're seeing here today are unbelievable, and they're all going to go all the way to the end of this parade, which is at the State House, which is where our Matt Vereen is, and he has more of the excitement from the end of today's parade.
Yeah, Dow, while you guys are enjoying the comfort of the tent back there about a block down Main Street, I want to shout out the dedicated fans who made it here earlier than anyone else around here in the State House, because it is a bit boiling hot around here. We got no shade to protect us, but they are packed in here, cheering things on here at the finish line of the parade. My phone has overheated and died 3 times just standing out here. That's how hot it is, but these fans didn't blink at the opportunity to come out here, stand at the sun, and support this national championship winning team. You can see some of the vehicles making their way down here to the curl in front of the State House. This is where eventually the team will hop out and walk down this little path to the State House back behind us. But these fans are dedicated. You can see them doing whatever they got. Some have fans, some have umbrellas, some have just whatever they can. I see wet towels on people's necks. They are doing whatever they can to be here and support. And remember, this is also Masters Sunday. A lot of these fans could have been down in Augusta, and most years would have been to see a new green jacket handed out. These are dedicated sports fans, but they are opting instead to be out here in this 85-degree heat, which doesn't sound awful, but we've been dealing with cooler temperatures lately, so this is our first taste of these hot temps. And they are out here loving it. They're packed in. They're bringing the energy over here at the State House. I'm sure the energy will build a lot more as we get closer to the end of this parade, as the team will start to make their way up here. Finally, they're sitting all the way back down the road, but they're making their way forward. This place starting to boil over as they are excited for that fan and the team to make their way down here and talk up here in front of these fans. But Dowell, Claire, I hope you're enjoying the tent, because I kind of wish we had it here, but we're having fun all the same.
I know. Thank you, Vereen, for taking that one for the team and getting out in the sun and making sure we got a good spot at the State House, which is where the end of today's parade will be. For the championship speeches, of course, all eyes will be glued on the Gamecocks. But first, they got to get the waves in, get the pictures on their floats, everybody having a good time. But it is warm today. It was a beautiful morning. It's still very, for Columbia standards, it's still a beautiful day. It is warm. It's about 85 degrees, but a nice breeze here in downtown Columbia. So if you got your water, you got your sunscreen, it's actually very pleasant, I think, here downtown. But of course, out in the sun at the very end, people who've been there for hours, braving it because they want to see their team and cheer them on at the end.
I know, we've got a little tent set up here. We're enjoying the nice cross breeze coming through, but Brina and Amanda, they are out in the elements right now. But it is really a beautiful day to be sitting for a parade, not a cloud in the sky. I mean, just couldn't ask for better conditions on a spring Sunday.
Such a great day. Again, so much excitement here today, and it really just feels like the perfect bookend for what was one of the all-time great seasons in women's college basketball. South Carolina starting the season with history in Paris, beating Notre Dame in the City of Love 100-71, and how fitting too that the theme of this year was love. Unbelievable for this South Carolina team to start it there. They absolutely cruised through the non-conference. Their first few games putting up over 100 points, and everyone said, oh, they are the real deal, and they did not falter the whole way. 38-0. We've seen some signs out here saying Dawn Staley for president. You see signs saying 38-0. The revenge tour. So much support for today's celebration and for this team that has really become the premier program in women's college basketball.
That's right, Dowell. I mean, you talk about how we said before that this team, it's sort of become, you expect the win. And there were games throughout the season where it was no question. Like you talk about those multiple times that they scored more than 100 points, but they did have their challenges along the way, like we saw in the Final Four in the first part of Sunday's game. They had their challenges in the first quarter, first half, but you always knew that there was something, they had more. They were gonna come back. You believed in this team because of how they showed it time and time again, and just how talented and well-rounded this team was. I mean, you saw in some of the other, you saw in the men's tournament, you saw that Purdue's bench only held to 2 points. That would not happen with this South Carolina team. All 9 players this season posting more than 200 points. I mean, that is just insane.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, they outscored Iowa's bench 37-0 in the national championship game. And just so you guys kind of know just kind of how things are laid out for today's, for the Gamecocks, I should say, for today's parade. It kind of starts with the assistant coaches at the very end. You got Khadijah Sessions, who is here today on in a car, just enjoying this. Of course, she was a huge part of the foundation of this program, was part of the first Final Four team in Dawn Staley's tenure in 2015. It's her first season as assistant coach, and they win the whole thing. And she said that it's just amazing to go from that player role to the coach role. You got Winston Gandy, who was really part of the defensive scheme against Iowa. He played a huge part. He didn't get any sleep because he was trying to study Caitlin Clark and how they moved, and Dawn Staley gave him a shout out. Jolette Law, who's an elite recruiter for Dawn Staley, has been a huge part of getting all of these 5-star All-Americans to commit to the Gamecocks. So they're starting it out, and then we go into the players. And we also have Keenan High School's band and cheerleaders here to support Malaysia. Full Wiley and Cardinal Newman's High School's band and cheerleaders are here to support Ashlyn Watkins, which is great to see. Again, this is just, you can't just shout out one person. It's everybody part of this undefeated run.
That's right. And you talk about the coaching staff. I know we give our praises to Dawn Staley, but she certainly gives them back to her coaching staff. And it talks about her coaching, that she brings the right people around her for one, but that she trusts them to do their job, and she lets them do their job. She knows her strengths, she knows their strengths, and she trusts in them. And you see that with the trust that the players have with each other on the court, the trust that Dawn Staley has with them, and that she has with her coaching staff as well. And when all that trust comes together, you truly see the greatness that is able to be achieved because of it.
Yeah, Dawn Staley's always said that it really starts with the staff. That's what makes you a great coach, and she has proven to have the best one. We also got to shout out Lisa Boyer, who's been Dawn Staley's longtime assistant coach, even before South Carolina, and she is going to be with Coach Staley, or she is with Coach Staley in today's parade. So Lisa Boyer, a huge part. They call her the professor because she writes down every note, every single thing that this team needs to know. And so shout out to Lisa Boyer, who is a legend in her own right as well. And Coach Staley has always said there is no Dawn Staley without Lisa Boyer. They are a package deal, and they have been such an amazing coaching duo that has really led them to being icons in this sport.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have one without the other, and just it's incredible the excellence that is built. Obviously, we have Coach Staley at the center, but there really is no one star from top to bottom with this team, coaches or players. It's just excellence all around.
Yeah, what's made Dawn Staley too such the face really of the game now is that she makes everyone feel important. Everyone from the fans all the way to the local media and everyone in between. She makes everyone feel like they're part of this journey.
Yes, makes that your time is valuable to her, and I think that goes to what I was saying before about the players having their own personalities. You feel like you know them. When you have a coach that does that, you feel like you know her, and it really develops this sense of community, and that's why these people want to come out. They want to come out for her.
Tessa Johnson, one of the first players today with Chloe Kitts, and Sanaya Fagan, Bree Hall are in the car together. Of course, again, they're two-time national champions, so it's been unbelievable to see. And just again, from top to bottom, the South Carolina team has so much depth that has made them national champions. But Tessa Johnson, Chloe Kitts playing huge roles with this team. Sanaya Fagan, Bree Hall, of course. They said they didn't start 2 years ago, but this year felt more special to them because they really felt like they contributed so much, and that was amazing to see. Today's parade, our coverage of today's parade doesn't happen without the Atkins Law Firm, who has really been with us from the very, very start in Paris, all the way to Cleveland, Albany, and to today here in downtown Columbia. First of all, how excited are you guys to be here today and to be part of this celebration?
I mean, we're very excited to be here and support Dawn Staley and Gamecocks. It's something that all of us, from being alumni, truly love from the bottom of our hearts. So it's just a great turnout for everybody. So thank y'all for having us here today.
Yeah, Atkins Law Firm has been such a champion of this team, such a champion of the program, and it's just, we thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for all that you've done to support our coverage of this team, because they really are such leaders for women's sports.
Agreed. I mean, what Dawn Staley has done for women's sports, not only women's sports, but men's sports as well. I mean, she's transcended the game. I truly believe like she's one of the GOATs of our generations. And for South Carolina to have her, and for Columbia to have her, and for what she does to bring a lot of people back out, I mean, words can't describe it. So, I mean, we're just so honored to be a part of sponsoring them and also to be a part of y'all. So thank y'all for having us, man.
You guys were in the parade. Tell us, what's the view like over there? What did you see out there?
I mean, hey, the parade is a little dangerous this year. I mean, this is a great turnout. I mean, being a part of and just hearing how everybody's excited for what the women did this year. And everybody already saying a repeat for next year. So if this is how we did this year, if we run it back, I know next year is going to be even greater.
I mean, all they're losing is Cardoso. So, I mean, I think they got top recruits coming in. So I think everyone else is kind of saying, uh-oh, like, what's next year going to look like?
I mean, this has become one of the premier places to come play. I mean, being a student athlete myself, coming to play for a coach like Dawn Staley, who wouldn't want their kid to come down here for this experience? And like you said, we're going to lose Camilla, but she's already had the team stacked back up and everybody else is coming back. So it's going to be a really exciting year for them next year, too.
Yeah. We thank you guys for all you've done to support this team and our coverage. Atkins Law Firm is truly an amazing partner of Watch Fox, and none of this happens from Paris, France, all the way to Albany and Cleveland. I mean, you guys are unbelievable, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all you've done to support this team.
Real quick shout out, we have Miss Holly Atkins here. The Holly Atkins. And then two of our paralegals, Vita and Yana. Can't do what we do without them and our staff.
And Vita's from Philadelphia.
Philly girl. Support my Philly girl.
There you go, Dawn Staley, the Philly resident.
That's it.
Coming here and seeing this, is this impressive to you?
Oh, it's so impressive. I had no idea coming down here it would be like this. It's almost like being home with Dawn here. It's almost like being home. This is amazing. Just so happy to be a part of it.
We thank you guys for all you've done to be part of this coverage, and I know you guys want to go watch. I think where our tent is, I think the team's coming soon. So I know you guys want to get good seats. So thank you guys.
Go
for all you've done
Rock.
for us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Again, our championship coverage is sponsored by the Atkins Law Firm. We can't thank them enough. They sponsored us in Paris, France, the trip of a lifetime, all the way to today, and it's just been unbelievable to watch. Again, if you've been watching the parade, South Carolina is underway. Ashlyn Watkins is in the house, and she's joined by her alma mater, Cardinal Newman, the band, the cheerleaders, kind of escorting Ashlyn today, and Keenan High School also escorting Milasia Fulwiley, both local products that have been huge for South Carolina. Camila Cardoso again is here ahead of tomorrow's WNBA draft. She's got a busy 24 hours, but hey.
She's got more hours in her day, just like Dawn Staley.
Yeah, right. Hey, you don't get a parade every day. You know, you gotta come out for it. But Camila, of course, has become so beloved here in South Carolina. So it's just been fun. Everybody is here today. All of the players are here and accounted for, and it's just been so great to see for South Carolina, who again is getting more recruits. Joyce Edwards, the Camden High School superstar who was out in Oregon this weekend playing in the Nike Summit event. She was a superstar in that. She's joining the roster. So much local talent, Claire, which is unbelievable to see.
You can't. You keep thinking, oh, it can't get any better. They can't do more for this state, and then they do. They bring in the locally grown talent, and they keep them here, and they raise the stars right where they're from. And just like today, how we saw their schools are sticking behind them, they're staying with them, and they're representing them years later even, and they get to be there for them and watch them continue to grow right in front of their eyes.
Again, Dawn Staley has just been she's just been so accessible to fans. I mean, she'll take pictures with everyone. She wants to shake their hands today. It's been unbelievable to see, and I think that's what makes fans love her so much, and why they want to come and support this team, attend every game. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They want to come see the team, and Dawn makes them feel part of the journey, and I think that is kind of what separates this program from so many others around the country.
Absolutely, and you even hear some of the newer players getting in on it and how much they buy in to this community and this city. I mean, right after the win on Sunday, you were asking them if they were ready for the parade, and Tessa Johnson said, oh, I just know the fams, they're going to be wild. They're going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. So, of course, they want to be here with them and make this a part of their day. And it's, especially for the freshmen, it's so special that this is the experience they get to kick off their collegiate career with, and their future is just so bright.
I think, too, you know, I heard so many people in Cleveland, because this championship, of course, was the most watched ever in women's college basketball. 18.9 million people. It was absolutely packed in Cleveland, Ohio, and so many people were saying, wow, the atmosphere, wow, the atmosphere. But, you know, Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks, they were like, we get 18,000 people all the time. And that's part of why they want that atmosphere in November, so that when the beginning of April comes around, they're not stunned by the atmosphere. They're used to it. It's almost like they don't even notice it. And I think that's one reason why they're consistently able to perform on the big stage, because they play in that atmosphere all the time.
That's right. And she gave credit to the fans when they returned back here on Monday. She said all of the winning that happens at the CLA doesn't happen without them. She says they bring the atmosphere like you were talking about. And she said all year long that as they kept winning, and they kept winning. I see President Emeritus behind us, USC's president, waving the white towel, doing the Gamecock cheer. But Coach Staley, she said all along that she started to feel the pressure of each additional win, the pressure to stay perfect. But she always said she doesn't know how they do it, but the team just wasn't feeling it. They were just going out and being themselves. But like you said, because they were ready for those moments, that certainly helped.
She actually said maybe this group was so different than the past 4 years that she kind of was scared they were too loose before the national championship, too confident, and then they went down a quick 13-2, and she said, "Uh-oh, what are we in for?" But then the team, they don't panic, they don't stress out, they regrouped, they slowly chipped away at Iowa's lead and got back in it, and that kind of confidence, she said she had to adapt as a coach and just say, this is how they are, and you can't change that about them. And I think that's one thing a good coaching example that she is, because she adapts to the team and she adapts her coaching that way, but doesn't change who she is as a coach in the process.
That's right, and she said that all season long. I mean, from the beginning, she used to say the thing is we don't practice well, but we do it on the court. But like you said, it's learning that maybe it's not they don't practice well, they practice different. It's a different team, it's a different personality, and like you said, she adapted to it. And same thing with the coaching staff, like I mentioned before, she lets the team be who they are and lets the coaches handle what they're good at, and just it all comes together.
And Dawn Staley always says that everyone's going to get a ring who's a part of the journey. Behind us here, we're about a block away from the end of the parade. Behind us are some of the alumni, the famous alumni from South Carolina women's basketball. I see Olivia Thompson, the Lexington High School graduate who's part of that Freshies class. She is here on the float. So many other famous alumni who really helped found the program back when Dawn was first coaching. They had to believe in her vision, and Dawn says none of the stuff we're celebrating today happens without the players who played in 2008 and 2010, 2011, all the way to now. So they all get rings. They all kind of get the celebration. The Freshies, she said, are going to get rings from this year. And I think it's important to honor the legacy of this program, because you don't get to 38-0 without going through those beginning years.
Absolutely, and it's a testament to Coach Staley and the programs she's had throughout the years that these players do come back. I mean, on Sunday, as soon as the game was over, one of the first to run down to the court was Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah.
She was there hugging her coach, picking her back up. She was in tears because she didn't play a single game this year, but she was invested because of that family atmosphere that Coach Staley helps build here in Columbia.
And we should say, too, we got to give a shout out to Cocky. He's in the house, of course. He's kind of with some of the alumni in today's parade, as the alumni and then the team will be right behind them. So we are gearing towards the end of the parade, which will not end with the parade. It's going to end with the speeches at the end. But Cocky's in the house, and of course, he's such a popular mascot. Everyone wants a picture with him, and he's going to dance with you. Cocky's going to do his thing, and so it's such a fun thing to be a part of, as the team is kind of getting towards closer to the end of today's parade. So we're getting close to the end, but it's so fun to see just every aspect. We got Ray Tanner's here today. Like you said, South Carolina, the university president is here. Everyone is here to celebrate the Gamecocks.
That's right, and Coach Staley always gives her thanks to the administration. I know she joked the other day saying thank you to the president and the administration for giving students the day off so that they could come to the celebration, and she joked, yeah, I'm hoping to make this an annual day off for this school. But definitely so much investment that obviously starts from the top down.
I know everyone at home saw Ray Tanner. He's you know, such a great athletic director. He's a great coach as well. He won a couple national championships.
That's right.
As the baseball coach here. I'm like, does Dawn say to him, like, hey, I got you. I won up to you with 3. And I'm sure Ray Tanner's happy about that, because he wants the Gamecocks to succeed all the time. But we got great coaches all over the place here today. Behind us here, we talked about Khadijah Sessions, who you have seen on the sidelines this year be so excited. I'll never forget when Camila Cardoso hit that three-pointer against Tennessee. Khadijah just ran straight on the court, out of camera, and she's been so excited the whole season.
Hyped up right now.
The energy today as well.
And you know what? She is not afraid to show it. After the game on Sunday, she was so enthusiastic of how proud she was of this team, especially the young freshmen. And you can see that on display here this afternoon.
But again, the team, the staff is kind of nearing us. We're here on the corner of Main and Lady Street, just one block down from the State House, which is where today's parade is in. So the staff is kind of, they are going behind us right now. So we're nearing the end of the parade. Again, we got to give a shout out to all of the assistant coaches from South Carolina's team. Jolette Law, who is a legend in every sense of the word, such a good recruiter for South Carolina. And it's getting louder where we are because the team is coming and fans are getting excited. But the staff is unbelievable, and they really have done a great job in getting this team mentally and physically ready for the big stage.
I think it was interesting. You saw earlier in the week some videos go out on social media of some of those really early days over the summer when they were doing the icebreakers and the team building, and you get to see that side of it that you didn't get to see all season long, and really the origin of this team, and to see behind the scenes like that and really see there's so much that goes into building a team like this that you don't get to see.
behind us here we're on the corner of Main and Lady Street. Chloe Kitts and Tessa Johnson, the first players in today's parade. We can't let people forget too, Chloe Kitts, a sophomore, but that's only because she enrolled early. She's part of the same class as Tessa Johnson and Malaysia Fulwiley. And boy, what a role did she play in this year as a starter. Tessa Johnson had 19 points in the national championship game, part of the all-tournament team. So the young players who have a bright future, they're not going anywhere.
That's
a
right.
Huge part of this team.
You talk about being ready for the big stage. I mean, Chloe Kitts, to see her evolution all season long, you look back at the stat lines, the recap stories, and you start to see weeding in Chloe Kitts, and just becoming a foundational player.
After Chloe Kitts and Tessa Johnson in today's parade is Sanaya Fagan and Bree Hall, two-time national champions. They're juniors. Dawn Staley credits them with really waiting their turn. And boy, did they shine when it was their moment. Bree Hall been huge all season. Sanaya Fagan was huge in the tournament. Such a force on the inside. And it says something in this day and age of the NIL, the transfer portal, that they waited their turn and waited for their moment to shine.
Absolutely. And Bree Hall especially was a true veteran this year. Just like I was saying about Chloe Kitts, it was the same thing. Started out the year seeing her every once in a while, and then it becomes that stoic veteran presence consistently there in the stat lines, and not just what's on paper, but you see it in the leadership as well, talking about her teammates, boosting them up all year long.
Well, we heard some big cheers because one of the freshman sensation, not just here in Columbia, but all over the nation, is behind us. That's Malaysia Fulwiley, and she's actually being joined by the Keenan High School band and cheerleaders who have joined her for today. And I think it's awesome to give Keenan High School the shout out. Of course, Malaysia, unbelievable at Keenan High School, one of the top recruits in the country. And the Raiders are in the house to support Malaysia. And again, so much local talent. And boy, Malaysia just popped off in the first game of the season in Paris, and she didn't slow down after that.
My goodness, can't be understated enough. I mean, she's got her own parade in this parade. And it is certainly worth it. I mean, you saw her dropping threes when it mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, just not fazed by it at all. I mean, Dawn Staley talked about it early on, settling in. You have to remember, she's a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big change to come to college in general, but especially on a stage like this.
Malaysia Fulwiley, the SEC tournament MVP, the first freshman in program history to do that. Behind Malaysia Fulwiley, up next, Raven Johnson, of course, the leader of the Revenge Tour, and Sakima Walker, who was a transfer this year, but a veteran presence for the South Carolina team that you need when you have a lot of young players.
That's right, and Raven Johnson, you've seen some of those Revenge Tour t-shirts, and just so happy for her. She really did. She said she didn't feel like a grandma with the younger kids. She joked about that because she used to say that about her teammates that graduated, but she said she didn't feel like it. They kept her young, as they say.
Yeah. Raven Johnson, just again, as we said earlier in the show, such a great story of redemption from last year when she said it really hurt her, and just leading the defense of South Carolina today. After Raven Johnson, Adele Tack, who's a 6'5" center, and a part of the upcoming recruiting class with Joyce Edwards. So that's an exciting big piece of the puzzle for post players. After her, Tahina Pow, who a transfer that just fit right on in. An amazing shooter. She ended up the season the leader in three-point percentage across the country. Pow.
Pow, right in the name. But yes, just like you said, she fit right into this team perfectly and was exactly what they needed. It was just so incredible to see how all these different personalities and skill sets just gelled together.
We got to give a shout out to Cardinal Newman High School, who's here really escorting Ashlyn Watkins, the star sophomore forward for South Carolina. Of course, a Cardinal alum, known for her dunks, but boy, is she known for so much more now. She can just rebound the ball, she can score, she can do a little bit of everything. But Ashlyn Watkins joined by Cardinal Newman High School. And then after Ashlyn, you hear the big cheers behind us, is Camila Cardoso, the star senior center, going to the WNBA draft tomorrow, lifting it high, the most outstanding player from the Final Four, joining Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston as South Carolina players who have accomplished that And I think the cheers are going to get louder for us here in a second because behind Camilla is head coach Dawn Staley and assistant coach Lisa Boyer. I mean, talk about star power, Claire.
Riding up in a Bentley. Only the best for Coach Staley. But, I mean, Camilla Cardoso, what a strong presence, and obviously one that this team is going to miss next year, but what a better way to send her off. And I mean, to send her off right into the next step with the WNBA draft tomorrow.
Yeah, unbelievable. Camilla Cardoso, Dawn Staley was saying she's the first player they've ever sent off to the WNBA as a national champion. Graduating, I believe. Destiny Henderson, of course, went 2 years ago, but they sent her off as a senior to the WNBA. Destiny Henderson went a couple years ago as well, and there's just been so many great champions. But now, all right, we see all the movement behind us.
The mad dash to the State House
for the end of today's parade, which is where all of it is going to be taking place as far as the speeches go, the end of the celebration. But y'all, I don't know, this team might talk for a long time, so just buckle in because I don't know what, they got a lot of people to thank. They're here to celebrate a national championship, which is unbelievable to see. Again, it's just packed. Thousands of people here, and they're all making a mad dash to the State House. But if what Vereen told us is correct, I don't know if they're going to get a spot because it's packed. It's been packed since this morning.
That's
Everybody
right.
wanting to see this team get an up close and personal look. And it's just, again, the energy today has been unbelievable, Claire.
You talk about all the people they have to thank, but you have to talk about all that personality. Who knows what this team is going to do up there this afternoon. And I have no doubt that they are going to put on a show.
Oh, they're going to put on a show, all right. And of course, we're going to show you guys the speeches here in a little bit. Going to wait for the Gamecocks to finish the end of the parade and get settled at the State House, which again is where the end of today's celebration is going to be. There were over 100 cars in today's parade. Unbelievable to see. Thousands of people have come out. So many fans. It's just such a perfect example of community support for this team. Go Gamecocks! Everyone's shouting. They're excited. And look, this team's going to follow them. These fans are going to follow this team in the off season as well.
That's right. They're not just going to follow right in their lead straight down to the State House. They will go near and far to see what this team is capable of. And they won't just follow them today and while they are wearing garnet and black, but in the future as well, as we've seen with Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston and big names like that.
Unbelievable. Again, we're kind of staying idle here for a little bit as we get set to show you guys the speeches at the end of today's parade. Our Matt Vereen is kind of hunkered down there. He got there about 9 a.m. today to get a good spot. So we are going to show you all of this coverage as the Gamecocks get ready to take the stage. The fans are excited. It's been a beautiful day, a beautiful celebration, and the team is just so beloved, not only in this community, but all over the nation. I mean, again, we talked to someone from North Dakota. I mean, they come from all over the country to see this Gamecock team, and it's just been so fun. The energy, again, has been so great. The local support for this team has been amazing, and it really all starts at this level. To be a national powerhouse, you got to start local, and that's really what Dawn Staley did. She got these local fans bought in, and then it's just continued to grow. They have millions of fans around the country now.
That's right. I mean, you talk about how quick of a turnaround it was from the win last 1 week ago to where we are today, and we're seeing full-blown floats out here.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable to see. Again, and I think that's something too we got to say. Someone like Tahina Paopao, who you guys have seen throughout this parade, she said she has felt like she's been part of this community from day one. She came from Oregon, where she spent 3 seasons, was obviously a great player, thought she was going to go to TCU, and then someone said, Dawn Staley wants to talk to you, and she said, what? And now, look at where she is. She's been getting accolades, honors. She's high-fiving, taking pictures. She's so popular here now, and it's because of this fan base, and they just take these players in from the beginning, and now someone like Pau Pau has had so much fun, she's coming back for another year. She said, I don't want to go pro yet. I got things I want to improve, and I want to feel that love for one more season. And that's just what Dawn Staley and this program have created, that sense of being loved, being supported, and it's just, you feel that today here in downtown Columbia.
Yes, and it's something that the city has adopted, taking people under their wing. You are, okay, you're on our team now, you're one of us. We're going to go to battle for you. We're going to be there for you. We're going to see you on the street, give you a high five, talk to you, ask how you're doing. And you know what? They do the same thing, like you mentioned, with Coach Staley. She takes time with people. She takes the pictures. She has a conversation. She asks how you're doing. And it's really just feeling a part of it on both sides, and it's really cool to see that the players feel it too.
Yeah, as you guys are seeing at home, the players getting out of their cars, making their way to the stage at the State House, where the speeches are going to take place today, as they got to keep the celebrations going as long as possible, because no one wants this undefeated, perfect season to be over. We don't know who's going to give the speeches. Dawn Staley, I'm assuming, will. Ray Tanner, I'm assuming, will. After that, I think it's going to be who wants to take the mic, have a good time. But our Matt Vereen is parked at the State House, where he'll have all that coverage for you guys in just a little bit. But until then, it's been amazing to see just the cheers, the excitement. I mean, when these players are coming by, just the screams of just fandom, the cheers, it's just so much fun. And you don't get this everywhere, Claire. We're so used to it here in Columbia, but you don't get it everywhere.
Right, and it got loud here, that's for sure. I mean, of course, we got a little loud around the t-shirts, but when the crowd got really loud was when Camila Cardoso, the full Wiley.
Ashlyn
Watkins, Dawn Staley. I mean, these are true A-list celebrities in this city.
Yeah, again, this is the finale for Camila Cardoso, who is set to go to Brooklyn, New York. I don't know when she's leaving, either tonight or tomorrow morning, because the draft is tomorrow night in New York, but she's expected to be a top 5 pick, and guess what? You can't ask for better preparation for the WNBA than what she did at the NCAA tournament, because it's a most outstanding player, 17 rebounds in the championship game. She had 22 points in the Final Four. She didn't even play in the fourth quarter. I think the pro teams liked what they saw from her this weekend.
Hey, if anyone is ready, it is her. I mean, you heard Raven Johnson say, I mean, if she's open, I'm going to give it to her, because she makes it look so easy. She's running a clinic out there.
And it's unbelievable. Dawn Staley is making her way down. I thought she passed this, actually, but no, she's taking her time.
She's back. Maybe she did another lap.
Yeah, maybe she's with her escort here. The fans that are still here are going to get a good look at Dawn Staley. Again, we're at the corner of Main and Lady Street, where Dawn Staley, again, she's going to take her time to welcome and say thanks to every single fam who is here today. But she is with Coach Lisa Boyer, assistant coach. They are together. Again, they are just enjoying every single second of it, because it doesn't get old, and you got to appreciate all of these winning moments. She's got so many necklaces, so many trophies, so many everything.
So many net necklaces at this point.
Everything that she can ask for. But Dawn Staley making her way down the street now. Again, she will be the end of today's parade, and then once she gets to the State House, they'll take the stage and keep the celebrations going. But the fans here, I think we had some people ask us, did you guys see Dawn? Where was she? And I said, I thought she was here, but no, she's coming now. So the fans are about to get a good look at her here towards the end of today's parade. I think it's going to get pretty loud here in a second.
But you know what, Tal? I wouldn't put it past her to do a lap and come through again for these fans, because she appreciates their time. She appreciates that they're out
money
here.
They spend,
Yes, absolutely. And it's really refreshing to see such a big name and superstar like her be so down to earth and be one of the people, if you will.
Yeah. But the fans are going to be patient for the end of this. Hi, guys. How are you? Hope you've had fun as Dawn Staley makes her way down Main Street here. The fans are loud. They're having a good time. Love their team. Love this Gamecock program, who has brought so much joy to so many lives. South Carolina winning their 3rd national championship in program history. Dawn Staley, the leader of all of that. She came here from Temple. Everyone's saying, you're going to take over South Carolina, and look at what she has made it. It's been unbelievable to witness. She has made it the premier program in women's college basketball, a powerhouse, and they are now the team that everyone else wants to beat to get the trophy. And this year, that was not possible. Again, we are on the corner of Main and Lady Street, where Dawn Staley's car is about to cross us. The phones are out. Everyone's cheering as Dawn Staley is shaking as many hands as she can. We can see her now. She loves the celebrations, y'all. It doesn't get old for head coach Dawn Staley.
And you talk about her resume and the records she's setting. Like, not only is she gonna come to South Carolina, but she's gonna do it better than anybody's done it before.
Dawn Staley is coming through. She's got the visor on, rocking the shades. Of course, the fits have been a huge conversation this year. Rocking the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci. Today, though, just rocking the shades, rocking the Gamecock wear. Dawn, just the epitome of a baller. She's just a baller. And look at, everyone wants autographs. They want pictures with Dawn Staley. They want everything, and she wants them to feel a part of it.
She's just cool.
She's just cool. Yeah, she's just cool.
I want to be Dawn Staley when I grow up.
We've seen so many shirts and signs today. Dawn Staley for president, the Dynasty, the Dawn Staley. And again, you think of the great coaches, the Stringer, Summit, Ariema. Dawn Staley is one of them. She's joining them in that elite company. And for everyone, we need to appreciate what we're witnessing, because this is greatness. This is excellence here in Columbia. And she's a superstar. She is a superstar.
Yeah, and Dalla, you talk about what this means for the city. They need to appreciate it and what it means. But how much of an honor is it that we get to talk about one of the greatest to ever do it?
She has such an impact. Again, it's beyond sports. She really she wants women's sports to succeed. This tournament, obviously they won it, and she's grateful and happy. But it was about the big picture for her. Cover all the teams, cover all the programs from day one. Give them the coverage, give them the accolades they deserve. Don't just make it about this player or this program or that player. Make it about all of them. Everyone deserves the spotlight, and she truly wants all of her players, all of the opponent's players to shine and get their moment in the sun.
And that's what's so special about her, is that it's not about her. She couldn't care less if she gets this big crowd of attention for her. She loves it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But she just wants to put the light on other people that she says deserve the moment.
Yeah, well, the ones who stuck around here, they got what they wanted, which was the moment with Dawn Staley. Now it's really clearing out as everyone heads to the State House for the end of today's celebration, where Matt Vereen is posted up, and we're going to have a lot more of him in just a little bit. But again, it's just so much fun, so much energy, so much action that we are here in downtown Columbia for today's parade. And I believe we have Matt Vereen that's ready to go at the State House. Vereen, what's it looking like? It's kind of clearing out here on our end. How's it looking at the State House for the end of today's activities?
Yeah, Dow, all the fans that used to be back where you are now moving their way up here to the front onto the State House steps. As you can see, we have the full South Carolina women's basketball team now sitting up in front of this crowd. The band's putting on a show. We got the cheerleaders. You can see the highlighter practice squad right behind the team. The energy has now shifted from all the way down Main Street to up here in front of the State House steps. The only one we're waiting on to get this party going up here is, of course, head coach Dawn Staley, who's still making her way down the street, greeting all the fans. But everyone else is up here. We're ready to get this thing going. The microphone is waiting. Everyone has made their way up, and the fans are squeezing in all around the steps of the State House. They all want to hear what head coach Dawn Staley has to say about the third national championship in program history, and hopefully the many more national championships to come. That is a young South Carolina women's basketball team sitting up there. So we'll see. Dawn Staley's working her way down. Dal and Claire, she'll be here soon.
Look, he's in our ear. We're listening to Matt Vereen. It sounds loud just from what we're hearing. The energy is unbelievable. Thousands of people here today to get a look at this championship team, an undefeated, perfect season that's all going to culminate here in downtown Columbia in just a little bit. It's so much fun to watch the support for this team. And it is kind of sad that it's going to be over today because it's been such a special group, an undefeated season team. Hi, how are you guys? Hope you're having fun, enjoying the Gamecock National Championship parade. Everybody having a good time. Again, so many fans here today to celebrate this team. The cars are finished. The music's done, but the celebration's not done because, again, we got to hear from the champions themselves in just a little bit. They're getting off their cars, getting set at the State House for what's going to be a really fun championship parade. Thousands of people wanting to see the Gamecocks in their final moments of this 2023-2024 season that has made them one of the best we have ever seen in women's college basketball history. Just the 10th team in history to go undefeated, just the 5th program to do so, the first in South Carolina history, joining the legends of Tennessee, of UConn, the Baylor teams with Brittany Griner, that was so good back in the day. This team is up there with them now. And I was asking Dawn Staley after the championship, I said, you've had a lot of really good teams and a lot of good players. How did this team get to be the best of them all? Because I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to be. But they had every single piece of the puzzle. They had the three-point shooters. They had the inside game. They had the defense. They had the energy. But they had confidence. And they didn't feel pressure. And it has led them to this moment that they can forever say they are national champions. And I have a feeling this young group is already thinking that they want a little bit more of this.
And they did it for each other, and you could tell that every single game. It was not 9 individual players out there in a game. It was a true team, and it's special to watch something like that, and I think that's what is attractive as fans. And I mean, we talk about how these fans will travel to the ends of the earth for this team, and it was really funny when this parade is going by behind us and you get the last car, you get Coach Staley, and everyone just, okay, we follow them and go straight to the State House. They're going that way, I'm right behind you. I'm right there with you. It's unbelievable too, because again, they have no questions that these fans are going to follow them everywhere, whether it's Paris, Antarctica, who knows, Albany, New York, Cleveland, Ohio, wherever the Gamecocks are playing, these fans are going to go follow them. And I remember asking them, because last year you could feel the pressure of the undefeated season. It was an older group that knew that it was the end, they were going pro, and you could feel that pressure. This group, we would ask them, do you guys feel the pressure? How are you guys handling it? And they'd be like, no. Like, they really did not think about the record, and I really believed them when they said it. They just did not think about it. All they wanted to do was win, and I think because maybe the national attention wasn't so much on them, they wanted to prove that they were the best to everyone else and really stop the haters from kind of not talking about them so much. Yeah, and the coverage was pretty quiet nationally. I mean, you had the other storylines, but it's funny you say that about them not feeling the pressure, because of course that's going to be the media trained answer for them is nope, I'm not feeling the pressure, because you don't want the opponent to grab onto that and to play into it. But like you said, you truly believe them. They were like, no, we got this. We know our game plan. I know what each person on this team is capable of, and they had every reason to believe that. They executed every single game. And you saw that in one of the moments of this season, of course, that SEC tournament semifinal when South Carolina was down 73-71 to Tennessee, 1.1 second left on the clock. I think everyone kind of said, well, it looks like this is going to be the first loss of the season, and they're going to have to get ready for the tournament. But Dawn Staley just looked at Camilla and said, shoot it. Yeah. Just shoot it. Never taken a three. And she did it, and she made it. And it has led them to another SEC tournament championship after that, and then they completed the perfect season. But that kind of confidence really is what Coach Staley instills in them. As you can see, Coach Staley making her way to the State House stairs. It's just been, okay, I think it took a while because everyone wants to get a picture of her, get an autograph, but it's taken her a long time. And again, we got nowhere to be. We're right here. So we're hunkered down. Part of it. Hi guys, how are you? Everyone enjoying today's parade, but it's going to end with South Carolina making some speeches at the State House. But I think the confidence that South Carolina has had all season long, from that game in Paris, through the non-conference, through the SEC regular season, which is such a tough conference. To do an undefeated conference schedule 2 years in a row is no easy feat. They've won so many games in a row in the SEC, taking it to the postseason when it's now or never. They never wavered, and it's really unbelievable to watch. And you know what? You talk about the trust that Dawn Staley has in her players, and they then didn't feel the pressure. But I mean, if you as a person are coming in and Dawn Staley is saying, I believe in you. I have no worries. I have complete faith in you. How do you not believe in yourself? How do you not believe you can do it?
Someone who has, played in national championships. She's won WNBA titles, gold medals. She carried the flag for USA in the Athens Olympics at the opening ceremonies. I mean, she's been on the biggest of big stages. And the Gamecocks are now on the stage, which is really great to see because it's the end of today's parade.
This is what we've all been.
They were perfect on game day, 38 straight times. What a team, what a year. From Paris to Cleveland, nothing but perfection. Who says you can't win them all? At this time, I'd like to introduce the City of Columbia Mayor, the Honorable Daniel J. Richardson.
Good afternoon, Gamecock Nation. What a beautiful day. Thanks for sticking it out. This has got to be a record crowd. I don't know that we've ever seen this many people downtown. On behalf of City Council, Ed McDowell, Will Brennan, Tina Herbert, Anna T. Bustles, Peter Brown, Tyler Bailey, and our city manager, Teresa Wilson, we welcome you to the celebration of our national champions, Well, Mr. President, Congressman Clyburn, I also would like to recognize all the elected officials here, mayors, Richmond County Council, our state senators and representatives, sheriffs and police department chiefs. Please stand up and be recognized. Also, I want to take this time to really give a big thanks to the city staff for bringing this wonderful celebration to life. Thank you. The South Carolina women's basketball team brought the university, the state, the city, and its fans an unbelievable season. SEC champs, National Coach of the Year, topped off with a national championship, not only with grace, honor, grit, but with integrity. We as a Gamecock Nation love you all for what you have accomplished, but more so for who you are. My friend Patrick Davis, a fellow alumni, wrote a song called Numbers. And most of them mean nothing, but some of them mean everything. So let's talk about some numbers. Let's talk about 38 and 0. Let's talk about 3,247 points scored. And an average of 85.4 a game. How about 1,761 rebounds? 702 assists, 332 steals, 297 blocks. And most impressive, the average attendance of over 16,000. I think for me, as a girl dad, I look out and I saw 18.9 million people watch the national championship game for women's basketball. And finally, what topped it off, which was the cherry on the Sunday there, was our very own alumnus, Miss Boston, sitting at the ESPN desk. So when I was growing up and young on Saturday mornings, there was a show that came on. It's called Schoolhouse Rock. And our fellow alumnus at South Carolina who do the Blowfish incorporate this into their songs during a live show. But it taught us the most important, the most magical number is 3. So 3 is the magic number. Let's stand up and let's cheer for our national championship magic number 3.
And now we welcome to the stage Congressman James E. Bonner.
Thank you very much, Brad. Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, the Athletic Director, to the whole Gamecock family, thank you so very, very much. I've always been proud of my home state, but I had never been more proud than I was sitting in Cleveland in that arena, watching all those people on the floor where their sentiments were, sitting with some people who were a bit nervous in the first part of that first quarter. And then they showed a picture of Coach Staley, and she was not moved at all. I said to myself right then, we got this. And when anyone in this great state makes an accomplishment, I try to enter it into the proceedings of the House of Representatives into our congressional record. On this past Thursday, I was proud to stand with the other members of our congressional delegation and make a congratulatory comment on the floor of the House, and we enter into the congressional record my feelings about this great team, this institution, this city, and this state. And so I'm going to present today to all the coaches, all the players, a copy of the congressional record of Wednesday, April 10, and you will find your accomplishments in the proceedings of the United States House of Representatives. And then, each one of the players and the coaches will get a personal letter from me. Most of it is somewhat generic, except I've gone through each one of them, and I found a way to personalize the part of it. And I'm going to just read one little sentence in one that I sent to the lady. Your mother came up to me in Cleveland and reminded me that you live in the neighborhood that I live in. And so when I wrote this letter to you, I said, in addition to the win, you have made your team, your university, your family, and the state of South Carolina very proud. And of course, all of us who live in the Greenview community.
And now please welcome University President Michael Reed. What an unforgettable benefit season. And I know many of us were thinking about it at the beginning of the season, but we were not so sure about it. And yet, here we are. Here we are celebrating today. Celebrating excellence right here. Celebrating success right here. Celebrating world-class talent right here. But also celebrating right here hard work, commitment, tenacity, teamwork, and we are celebrating the family environment that this team created and protected. I'm so very proud of them. And of course, we are here also to celebrate the great leadership of Don Staley. And Don, some people call it Donasty, Dynasty. I don't know what's the right word, but I know that we are building an empire. Thank you on behalf of the university. This is a great moment in the history of our women's basketball program and athletics, but it's also a great moment for USC. It's a great moment for the city of Columbia, and it's a great moment for the state of South Carolina. Whenever I go, and whomever I talk to, they want to hear more about this team and how we did it. And I'm delighted to give them all the details, from Paris to Cleveland until they stop me. So thank you, team. Thank you, Don. Thank you, all of you. for being here with us to celebrate, and keep in mind that we're only 6 months away from the first game of next season. Go Gamecocks! And now please welcome our athletics director, Ray Tanner.
Thank you, Brett. A few months ago, when this journey started, many people around the country weren't sure what the 2024 edition would be for Coach Staley's team. We all knew that it was a very talented five-star group. We knew that Dawn Staley and her staff are the best in the country. But with a relatively new team, a lot of people weren't sure where we would end up. We didn't think we would lose very many games. The last time I checked, we didn't lose any games. But I want to remind you that you make such a difference for these young women and our coaching staff. We know that 16,000 plus filled Colonial Life Arena, and there were lots of games where, quite honestly, we weren't threatened very much because of how good they were. But the times that we did get threatened, you made a difference in the outcome of what happened. You inspired this team. Of all the accolades that this team enjoys and should enjoy for 6 months to come, every team has an identity. The 17 champions, the 22 champions, and this team. For me, what stands out most about this team are two things. How selfless this group of young women were in today's world. How selfless. And as we all know, on any given day, there was another star. And nobody cared who got the credit. Please give it up for the 2024 National Champions.
So you guys are watching the championship parade speeches over at the State House. We have heard from Ray Tanner. We got South Carolina, the university president, speaking as well, and we're going to hear from the team in just a little bit. But it's been so much fun, and I believe we're about to hear from the players as well.
And you heard President Emeritus say, "This is all because of you," saying to the crowd, and that talks about the community and what Dawn Staley talked about the other day, that they win at the CLA because of the fans, because of this atmosphere that they bring, whether it's game one, preseason, or celebrating a national championship.
Yeah, we hear they're introducing the players right now, so let's let you guys listen to some of what's going on at the State House.
A senior center from Brazil, number 10, Camila Cardoso. A freshman guard from Colombia, number 12, Malaysia Fulwiling. A freshman center from Grand Prairie, Texas, number 15, Adele Tack. A junior forward from Ellenwood, Georgia, number 20, Sanaya Fagan. A sophomore forward from Oviedo, Florida, number 21, Chloe Kitts. A junior guard from Dayton, Ohio, number 23, Bree Hall. A sophomore guard from Atlanta, number 25, Raven Johnson. A senior center from Columbus, Ohio, number 35, Sakima Walker. Your coaching staff, assistant coach Khadijah Sessions. Assistant coach Mary Woolley. Assistant coach Winston Gandy. Assistant coach Jolette Law. Associate head coach Lisa Boyer. And the head coach of your national champion, Dawn Staley.
So we jumped out of order a little bit, so I just want y'all to know we just declared the month of April our national champion women's basketball month in Columbia, South Carolina. So on April 7th, 2024, South Carolina women's basketball secured the NCAA National Championship against the University of Iowa with a perfect season record of 38-0. The program's third national title, all three titles coming under the leadership of Coach Dawn Staley. South Carolina women's basketball team is made of a powerhouse team whose commitment reflects in their stellar talent. The Gamecocks were the 10th team to finish the season undefeated with a national championship and led the country in attendance for women's college basketball games for 9 straight seasons. The Gamecocks' victories are bigger than basketball. Its remarkable achievements reflect the spirit of women in sports and the importance of female athletes have a place front and center with their male counterparts. For that, we thank you.
So on behalf of myself, the mayor, and fellow city council members, we declare April is the University of South Carolina Gamecocks NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship Month. But to be quite honest, what do you do with Coach Staley? We named the street out girl, we giving her the key, we got a proclamation, we got a statue coming. You know, what do you do with a coach being named Coach of the Year 4 times? The coach of 8-time SEC championship team, the first African-American head coach, men or women, to win 3 I tell you what we do for a fashion icon, we get her something new for her fashion, a new accessory.
going to be undefeated. And we just got to thank him for giving us a healthy season and bringing us through this long season. And second, we just want to thank everyone who supported us throughout this journey. Thank our athletic staff, our band, our fans, you guys, and especially our coaching staff who brought this group of girls together to love each other, play selflessly, and just compete and have fun with each other. And lastly, in the words of Barry Crockett Johnson, it's time for a Ruby tour.
And now please welcome your coach, Dawn Staley.
Telling, as many people that deserve to be thanked. Okay, I want to thank our mayor. I want to thank, all the councilmen and women who put this special parade together. Also want to just congratulate all the people that were a part of the parade. I know we had some bands from Keenan. We had a band from Clark Lumen, and we had some other people that really need to be celebrated, so thank you. And everybody else that played a role in blocking the streets and just giving us an opportunity actually to love on you. You, everybody out there, yes, give yourself love. I saw a lot of uncommon favorite t-shirts, and I don't know if everybody really understands what uncommon favor is. I'm gonna sum it up because I grew up in a household where I had to be disciplined, right? Uncommon favor is when your mother or your father told you, I can show you better than I can tell you. It's quite simple. After we planned to be here last year during this time, it wasn't hard this time. It wasn't. And it was a devastating loss to all of us that were part of it. And I was hurt, deeply hurt, deeply. Not to destroy my faith, but I did ask why. I did. And most of us that really understand, we need to know. And we need to know what we need to know. But God sometimes says, I can show you better than I can tell you. So it's incredibly an honor to coach this team here. It's an honor to work with the best coaches in the country. It's truly an honor to represent the city of Columbia and the state of South Carolina. Yes, it's an honor. We've had so many people that helped us get to this stage. We got our fellas back here. We call them highlighters, who is the only team that beat us this year. And everybody, we got video people, we got performance coaches, we got athletic trainers, Molly, Craig, Hudson. We've had everybody. If I missed you, charge it to my head and not my heart. We work with a president that is so supportive of all athletics. He makes every team at South Carolina feel like they're national champions. I want to thank you, President Amaritas. And I got to thank our boss man, Ray Tanner, for always saying yes. Really, he does. He always says yes. And when he says no, then I'll just go sit in front of him. And if you sit in front of him, he can't tell you no. So I haven't had to do that very often. So thank you, boss man, for allowing us to be here. Maria Hickman is our sports supervisor who has done an incredible job working with us. we're not that easy to deal with, okay? Because we know our standard and we know our worth. But Maria has a way of allowing us to navigate in this space of being one of the best teams on this campus. One of, because there are other teams that are coming. You know, other teams that are coming. But I appreciate you, Maria, for continually giving us an opportunity to spread our wings and to do some things that some other programs aren't able to do. To our players, I want to give a special shout out to Camila Cardozo, who will skip WNBA draft orientations to be with you. And if this is the last impression of what it is to be a national champion here at the University of South Carolina, you all have made it a special time for her to take on to the next level, which is the WNBA, where she'll continue to do us proud. And I thank you for giving her an awesome experience. She is a two-time national champion. So and then lastly, to our players, and to everyone, I know I missed somebody. Diana, I know I missed you. Brad, I know I missed you. If I missed you, really, I charge it to my head and not my heart. But at the beginning of this season, I don't know why I said this. They actually asked me to say something on camera. Give me one word that's going to describe our season this year. And like me, I said, expect the unexpected. I don't know why I said it, but I said it. And because I felt like we had enough on paper to compete at a really high level, whether that ends up in a national championship level or not, I didn't know. But again, these players actually, and I have to go to our theme of this year, these players loved up on each other, unconditionally, created a bond that created a heightened level of competitiveness to say, you can play us for a quarter, you can play us for 2 quarters, you can play us for 3 quarters. But by the time that 4th quarter comes around, we are going to lose. And then lastly, the band, the band, thank you. Thank you for always creating, sweet music for us to win championships. And then lastly, it is our fans. Our fans. The ride, the 7 o'clock ride from, I don't know what street we started, but I know we're here right now. The love that you pour into us as we drove down Main Street, it is uncommon. And I really, really deeply appreciate your love, your unconditional love, although some of you guys you try to be coaches out there. You just can't coach on game day. That's the easy part. But I love you deeply. I hope we can end our season. Thank you. I hope we can end our season with us all in the same place at the same time on this beautiful day. So thank you so much for loving up on us. We really appreciate it.
That is Dawn Staley taking the stage as they celebrate their 3rd national championship as a program. Dawn Staley solidifying herself as one of the greatest coaches of all time. Claire, this started in Paris and it ends today with perfection.
But you know what, Dowell? It started long before that, with the revenge tour starting as soon as last season ended. And this truly is a storybook ending. You couldn't think of a better way to see the redemption of Raven Johnson herself, but this team in general. And that's something that Dawn Staley said. She's like, you don't get here
Yeah.
without last year, and it gave them a little chip on their shoulder, even though they haven't won or haven't lost a regular season game in years, but they still had that chip on their shoulder, and to see it all conclude today in the best way possible, and I just love it for them.
Unbelievable. A perfect day here in downtown Columbia, and we really hope that you guys enjoyed our parade coverage as South Carolina, the national champions, a perfect season. We want to thank the Atkins Law Firm for sponsoring our coverage, not just today, but all the way back in November when we were in Paris, in Albany, Cleveland, and now today. She's Claire Foley. I'm Sports Director Matt Dowell. Thank you to everyone involved for today's coverage. We hope you enjoyed it at home, and we'll see you tonight for the news at 10.